Hi, good day. My name is Raymond Crystal and welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to use Voronoi Fracture in the most creative way. Alright, let's get to it. On the top here, let's create a plane and we'll hit on the keyboard T shortcut and scale it up, and we'll push E to go back to the move tool and push it down a bit there just on the grid. Now on the top, hit the cube, bring it up a little bit and give it a little bit of space because it has to drop in order for the fracture to happen. I like to see the lines, so I push N and then B. And as you can see, there's quite a few segments on the plane, which is not really needed for our circumstances. So we'll go to the plane on the right. We'll go to the width segments and just put 1 and height segments 1, which will take away all these segments. And there you go, we are ready. When the cube is selected, you can go to the Voronoi Fracture and hold Alt, and it'll put it into the Voronoi Fracture as a child. As you can see, it has created all the fractures on the cube. If you hit play, nothing will happen. Why? Well, you need to tell these objects what to do, or what they are specifically. So you right click on the plane, you can go to Simulation Tag, and you make it a collider body, meaning that if anything hits this, it will collide. And on the Voronoi Fracture, you'll right click and you will go to Simulation Tag and you'll make it a rigid body. Now if you hit play, everything works wonderful. Okay, let's put it back. Now if you click on Voronoi Fracture and you go down to the sources, you will have your point generator distribution. This is what creates all the fragments in your object. As you can see, the little square here, and you can make it disappear and make it undisable it. You can hit this I, which will remove the dots if they're distracting you. And lower down you will see you can change the seed, or you can add some more points. So for example, you could pick it up and you can hit play and bang. I like to remove the points that just, get into the way for me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete this point generator. And as you can see, there's nothing there now. And we are going to create a spline, a rectangle spline. We're going to bring it up. With the splines, you don't actually have to have it in the cube because of the spline. You'll see now what I mean. But hit T, scale it down a little bit. E to move tool and back a bit, just so we could see what's going on. Now on the Voronoi Fracture, select it. On sources, bring your rectangle into the source. Look at that. It has created the fractures according to the spline and the points. If you select the rectangle and move it in, you see nothing happens. That's why I say you can leave it out so you can see it. But when you hit T for scale, and you scale it, look, it will change because the shape's changed. So you can have that type of an object. And now you can hit play and boom. There you go. All right, but that's not where it ends. You can go into your Voronoi Fracture. You can go into a rectangle. And then below there, you can have another variation. You can add more points. If we select the rectangle again and scale it, you see, and we can hit play and let's see the effect. Fantastic. Another thing we can do now is let's try with a circle. We will bring in the circle. We will go to Voronoi Fracture, drop in the circle. So we select the circle. Always remember to select the circle. It's something that I always forget to do. E, pick it up and look at that. You have a very creative fracture. You hit play, look at that, but it doesn't end there. So we come back to the circle. Let's bring it out so we can see what's going on. And you can go back to the Voronoi Fracture, the circle, and you have a point distribution. Look at this, you can hit how many points. Now you hit play again, and you have a huge array. So many creative things you can do with this, but it doesn't end there. So let's drop down the points a little bit. Let's say around 50. Okay, now, and let's see what will happen if we add an object. Let's take a circle. Let's bring it up into the center. we will take the Voronoi fracture and drop in the circle into the source, and look, we will have an amazing little cube with a circle. There you go. You can, for example, go back to the Voronoi fracture, the source, and instead of the vertices, you can go for the edge centers and try that, if that suits you. Huge difference. And then you can also, if you're not happy with that, you can remove that so that you don't see that. And there, these dots again, you remove it from your Voronoi fracture source. Now look at that, you have yourself a whole bunch of spikes. Absolutely amazing. All right, there's many more options that you can do, but I feel that I can keep on going here, and as you can see, you know, it's all similarly the same thing. But there's one more thing I can show you. Let's take this cube. We will move it into this cube. We will scale it inside. We will put a Voronoi fracture. We'll put it in the source, and there you have your basic cube. We'll go back to the cube and we'll bring up the segments to 10, 10, and 10. And due to the fact that it's in cluster, look at the difference. Now, if you hit play, it's all like a big Lego, right? If you go back to your Voronoi fracture, you go back to your geometry glue and you change it to point distance, it's back to normal again. Well, that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this and I taught you a little bit